Hello, welcome back. I'm Lady Heart and I finally remembered to introduce myself. Yeah! As you can tell by my outfit, today's video is going to be a little bit special. Now, a few weeks ago, I was making costume hat bases and you may have spied that I was making a black one. And that was for something in particular. Today, I am giving my personal to Invasion Day by celebrating an indigenous burlesque performer who I love and I want to learn more about. It's Vudu Doll. Vudu is absolutely amazing. Runs her own shows. She performs with snakes. Oh my god, she is just so cool. Now Vudu has this particular dress. I put it on the thumbnail. I am in love with it. I'm pretty sure she made it. As soon as I saw Vudu in this dress, I just couldn't help myself making her something that went with the ensemble. And she can wear it with everything else as well. I'm not here to dictate her life. We are going to give Miss Vudu a call and finally let her open what's in the box.
Look,
God!
look, he's still digesting, so here's Lucifer.
Hello, Lucy. Oh my God, look at that gorgeous. You look stunning. Look.
Thank you. We're sexy people.
Yeah, if we're being sexy on a Tuesday, just normal.
I'm a sexy noodle.
Oh my God, how you doing?
Sweaty, how are you?
Really hot. All right, I can put you out of your misery finally, and you can open what's in the box.
Yes, it's just been sitting there. I'm like, murder. So this cute little thing. Oh my God! Look! Oh my God, I love it. This is perfect. Get on my head.
It goes with everything you're wearing at the moment.
It does. It does. Beautiful.
Oh,
You're so clever.
All right, let me ask you some bloody questions.
Okay.
All right. I hate when it sounds so scripted and I'm like,
I know.
just tell us about you, man.
Well, so I'm Vudu. I actually got my name, and it's actually really like kind of cliche but funny. I was traveling around the States. We've got family all over the place. And we were going through Louisiana like we always do, because like I just fucking love the party scene there. And I actually met this woman who called herself like a 280-year-old voodoo priestess. And I was like, I was just enamored with her. I was like, I followed her around for 2 days. She probably thought I was a stalker. And she's like, because I already had another name at the time. And we were going through everything and how like she was just teaching me shit. She's like, you know what? You can just call yourself Vudu Doll from now on. And I'm like, yes, I can. We're like a million years old by now.
Excuse me.
I know, she's so cool. It's so cool.
Voodoo freaking priestess gave you your name.
She did, yeah. She's so beautiful. I still talk to her all the time. She's so sweet, but she's like, yeah, I'm like 280 years old. My family have lived here for like, I don't know, 20 generations and shit, but she's like fucking epic shit. And she's never been wrong about anything. I'm going to tell you, this woman, I think she really is a 294-year-old voodoo priestess now.
Jesus Christ.
She's so cool. And she's a snake lover. So,
yeah. Well, you gotta be.
Yeah, and I was like, that is the perfect name because it's me in a nutshell. Yeah, so anyway, I actually started performing when I was 15. I was in like strip clubs and stuff. Shh, don't tell anyone that, everybody. Anyway, you got to do what you got to do. I know, right? I had the time of my life. You got to do what you got to do to make money. You got to think I was like huge kajongas, teeny tiny everywhere else. So I started doing more and more dance. I actually ended up at 18 getting picked up by certain bands. I would tour with them, just like dance and party, and fucking it's a blur, most of it. And not when I was about 20, so it didn't last too long. I had a really bad accident and I broke my back in 3 places, and my hip and like all down my left side is completely shot. Started putting on weight. You know, nobody wants like a big old fat pole dancer apparently in the club, so you know, boo to you guys. So I went into burlesque like I always wanted to do. And yeah, so like, how old am I now? yeah, 13 odd years later, here I am doing my thing, just doing exactly what I want to do, and I don't care if anyone thinks it's weird. So
That
I'm
is
still
so
here.
exciting. Holy shit, I could ask you
Yeah.
a billion questions just from everything you said that
I
alone.
know. I just I tell people, and I'm like, they're gonna just think I'm a lunatic. Maybe I'll just tell them I pulled it out of a hat.
It's so interesting. I'm so already
It is.
intrigued. Alrighty. Give me a little bit of info about like your ancestry and your culture and what you identify
Yeah.
as.
Rightio. Well, so apart from the obvious, I am also Irish and Sicilian, and my Sicilian roots also go all the way back to Syria and Tehran. We've almost narrowed down exactly where I'm from, so we're getting close every day. But I am also a Torres Strait Islander and a Kamilaroi woman, and Kamilaroi from exactly around Moree and surrounds. So yeah, my mob is Kamilaroi, and I don't know a lot about my family. My dad was one at the time, you know, when the mother, she decided to chuff off, and he decided to dump the kids with either relatives or at Boys Town. So I've spent my entire life trying to hunt down who I am and where I'm from. It was only probably about 8-9 years ago I knew exactly where I was from. And I think about 4 years ago, it's the weirdest thing. I was sitting in a room of these random people, and we were just doing a little class on indigenous skin names. So there's like 4 different like in there and stuff. It's just narrowing down your heritage. It goes on like, you know, skin and hair type. And the lady was like, so, oh, you're Camilla Royce, so you don't know who you're related to. And I'm like, I told her the story about trying to narrow down and finding a few people. She goes, who's your last name? And I'm like, Smith and something else. And I'm like, in Aboriginal, Smith is really uncommon last name, and in white people, it's really common. So it's kind of funny. But all of a sudden, she just walks away, and I'm like, oh, all right. And the next thing I know, this lady comes back who I've sat next to for 2 days. Turns out she's my auntie once removed or something. The guy sitting across there is technically my 3rd cousin or something. Pretty much everyone in the room by one person I was not related to. And I just sat there in shock, like, no. And I'm like, oh, so I went back through all the knowledge and all the people I had from about 6 generations. She goes, yep, I know who that is. I know who's related to them. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And so the last few years I've spent talking with Auntie Robin, and you know, there was Uncle Bill before he passed, and telling stories about him. And my dad's mum, who she was pregnant very young, fell in, you know, with this man who was abusive. So she ended up just leaving. Unfortunately, it was a bit of the thing at the time. So yeah, so that's why my dad's dad ended up just chuffing them off all over the place. But it was interesting to hear stories about these people and a different perspective, because, you know, my dad was so young, he didn't know. So it's been an incredible adventure, you know, getting in and learning language, being involved in more customs and things, and, you know, diving deep down and finding out where I actually belong, because you have this, it's like a magnet that's trying to tell you to pull somewhere, but you don't know where that is. But all of a sudden you find where you belong, and everything just fits into place. And I'm so much more comfortable.
I was going to ask, as you sort of like found out more and uncovered more clues about your family, did you feel a stronger sense of like identity about yourself?
I did. It was beyond just going, yes, I have indigenous roots. It became, I am a Kamilaroi woman of, you know, from here and here. This is my relatives. This is my story. I'm not just another person who's been lost in the system. And it's been a wild ride. It's been so emotional, where I've had to sort of go, Arnie, I've got to step back. I'll see you in a month, because it's too much. And to come back. And it's phenomenal, because now I can also pass that to my children and go, you're not going to have to grow up the way I did, knowing your roots, but being afraid to talk about it because you don't know who you are, or you're not black enough for the black club, you know, or white enough for the white club. When you're trapped in the middle, it's crap.
Yeah.
But here I am, loving it.
Do you feel that since finding out more about yourself and your ancestry and things like that, did it change the way you performed? Like, I know I've found certain things out about my identity, and when I've included those into routines, it suddenly feels like, I don't know, you're a little bit more whole or something.
You flow so more freely. And I like to incorporate some moves that I can share with people and indigenous moves into my performances as well. So like, you know, you can be sexy and erotic, but I'm also showing that I'm not just there to be sexualized. I'm here, I'm performing. So here's my little, you know, welcome dance, or I'll interpret. It might even be something so small no one will notice, but I know it's there. And I feel so much more confident in myself because I'm not just hiding who I am and feeling like I can't tell people who I am because, you know, I'm loud and proud now. So you got to deal with it.
Oh, we want it in spades. Spray me.
Yeah, we do. It's the right industry for it.
Where were we performing at?
Was this at
Curry?
Yeah. Loki the dope.
So I was hosting at Curry and Vudu was performing. And so I announced her, and I always love the way I say your name. I'm like, Vudu Doll. And I'm like, oh my God, I just sound like one of those wrestling presenters. It's your name is my favorite one to yell into the microphone, I have to say. So I call your name, and then I go off and like I have a little sip of my drink and like put my cards down, shuffle. And I sort of look back onto the stage, and I see your assistant at the back of the stage, and he's like really held up, like against the back of the stage with his back to the audience. And I'm like, I must have missed tech run because I had no idea what was going on. So I'm just
goes wrong.
Yeah, and so I'm looking, and I'm standing at the side of the stage, like off in the wings, and I'm going, oh, something's gone wrong. And so I'm trying to like clap at him to get his attention. And he looks sober, like really confused. And I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? And he's like, shows me the snake. And I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah. When Loki gets a grip on you, he's not letting go. He's a bit of a hugger. I tried to warn him.
It's so funny. I'm like, why are you creeping at the back of the stage?
You got to be somewhere.
I freaking love it.
Because I'm like, if something goes wrong, just walk off. But he froze. They're like, do I give him to you or not? And I'm like, put him on my fucking shoulders there. But you know, it happens.
This is behind the scenes mega secrets, like on stage, like, yes, we look so glamorous and everything's running really nicely. Meanwhile, we're like going, oh, can you help?
For God's sake, bring the scissors.
My bra's not bloody coming off.
Yes.
On that note, tell me your most embarrassing burlesque story. I gotta hear it.
Oh no. One of my favorites, I don't have a lot of embarrassment factor these days, you know.
Yeah,
but,
I have no shame.
I have no shame. It's fine. I've also had kids, like, who hasn't seen me in the full Monty? But I was performing at this one place in Melbourne, and I was like going for the twister, and it's gone. And this one it flies off, smacks this guy in the face, and lands right in his drink. And he's like, splash, and I'm like, so just look the other way, and I kept going this way. He thought it was funny then, but at first you have this look in his face like, I thought I was gonna cop it.
Oh my God. Yeah, he got his money's worth.
He got his money's worth. You got to touch the thing that touched my boob.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all good. A few times I've been stuck in a dress. A snake pooed on me once. That was exciting.
Alrighty. Now, what have you got coming up? What's going on for you?
Holy you know what? I don't even know. It's crazy time of year. We've got March 10, 11, and 12 at Newcastle Fringe Festival. We have 3 Dollhouse cabaret shows. It's going to be very, very exciting. We're halfway through. The only thing we can't do is fire, but don't worry. We'll bring you everything else we always normally do. We've got aerials, magicians, sideshow, freak show. I might do something weird with a balloon. There might be a cow there. I reckon you should buy tickets and find out exactly what's happening. It's going to be great. So we're going to be at the Gal, which is above the Gallipoli Legion, right next to Hamilton train station. So no matter where you're coming from, you're safe. You will absolutely love it. And as always, we donate 50% of proceeds to charity. And this month we'll be donating them to the Sydney Veterans Lodge. So please buy tickets. Not only do you keep my beautiful people in spangly merkins, you get to donate money to charity. So it'll be very exciting. We are going to be hitting the roads soon, but I can't tell you everything about that soon. But we'll be coming to a city near you to be sexy and weird.
And I will put up all your links in the description below. Thank you so much for having a chat with me.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for my beautiful gift. I kid you not, I'm going to rock it tomorrow when we go out to get groceries. I'm not even joking.
Oh my God, please send me all the photos.
To rock on, Paige. We love you.
Love you.